What sucks about being your age? Being sore because I slept wrong. I'm 14 years old and I constantly wake up feeling sore or uncomfortable lol. Maybe it's because my bed is too hard. A new winner. You have dethroned the champion. Do we have anyone under 14? On a serious note, your bed is probably too hard or too soft. Mid to late 20s. Feeling like I'm way behind from where I should be by now. That never goes away. Best case scenario is you become at peace with where you are in life. And between the happy moments you still fleetingly think about what could've been. No one is completely satisfied. Being retired. The two things that really suck are 1. Watching good friends pass away yearly. 2. Having to push through the aches and pains of old age to do the things you enjoy. But I realize that I'm luckier than many of my friends who have had hip, knee or shoulder replacements or open heart surgery. But your second point is important to keep your mobility. My grandparents basically hung it up at 70 and sat on the porch all day every day and started really slowing down in their 80s to the point that both needed a cane and then a walker. My grandma is still alive at 93 but lives in assisted living and sometimes struggles even with a walker. My dad just turned 70 this year but still plays tennis 2 to 3 times a week and boxball twice a week and still takes on most of the housework. When he retired at 58, he stopped moving and got bad arthritis and back pain and had to be told at physical therapy that he has to keep moving or it'll just get worse. Thanks. Points well taken. I'm working through it. I'm 29. 5 couples from my friend's circle are expecting a child or recently got married. A few others have built a solid foundation in their career and are buying houses. Most of us grew up in apartment buildings. So it feels fancy to own a house at 30 where I'm from. Meanwhile, I'm currently a student and broke. It feels like everyone's so far ahead in life that they'll always be a step further and I'll never catch up. This is why I've largely abandoned social media. If I find out some big news about someone via social media, most often I don't care about it much because they're probably just someone I know, or barely even that. Big news from someone a little closer are usually said in person, and those are the ones I care about. I've been seeing people getting married and pregnant for years on my Facebook feed, but suddenly it's all my close friends or someone I hang out with at least occasionally telling me about their big news. I guess that's why it made me feel a little weird. You're right though. Not much good comes out of following social media too closely. Wrinkle cream and acne cream. Yes. Why do I have grey hair and zits? Not fair. Me too. I'm 39 and have been breaking out something awful since the lockdown started. Maybe from stress? I had to go to the drugstore for acne cream. Once your friends start getting married and having kids, shit becomes lonely. Yep. Doesn't help when you move 3,000 miles and don't know anyone. Especially now since I can't even socialize with new people. And I've made very few legitimate friends out here. Edit. I'm a woman. But thanks everyone. All you dudes are solid people and I appreciate the sympathy, advice, and kind words. Making friends as an adult is hard. There's no obligation to spend enough time with other people to become friendly, unless you join a club which feels lame and weird, but does actually work, if it helps. We're all horribly lonely right now. The early 30s is that weird age, where you're just old enough to be out of touch with what's cool, but not yet old enough to be fully progressed in your career, to be sitting on enough stacks, to not care about that. Getting there at least. Just turned 33. Where's the stacks at? The new hires are children and the managers are ready for the Grim Reaper. Stuck in the no man's land that is your 30s. It used to be true. But the 2009 crisis and now Corona ducked a significant proportion of multiple generations. I'm almost 40. With a patchy CV and ducked knees. I'm basically ducked. And because I was unlucky to fall early in my career, I never earned enough to feel financially secure enough to be able to start a family. It is quite funny Hearing about all those people who thought they were financially secure and often looked down upon those of us who graduated at the wrong time and place, or were just plain unlucky, are now finding out that they are also ducked and that there was essentially nothing they could have done to prevent it. Like how not so long ago, you'd read out of Touch articles about how quirky Japanese young people didn't want to get married or have kids, ignoring the underlying economic malaise that would soon spread to the rest of the world. My body is starting feel the aches and pains older people have told me about. It's not terrible, just really annoying. How old are you? I was at work sitting on my comfortable chair earlier this week. I turned my torso slightly to the right and pulled a muscle in my back that I didn't even know was there. I'm 44 years old. Being 50, I better find something good. You can angrily mumble about these damn kids everywhere. I'm too old to take up most action sports. The body doesn't bounce back like it used to. That shit's real. And too young to retire and just duck off all the time. I feel you, man. My shit is just now starting to fall apart. I'm pretty active still, but sometimes my body just hurts for no reason. It's only going to get worse from here. Oh, I'm active too. It's just that now for one day of activities I need 2 or 3 days of recovery. That makes Saturdays great but Mondays suck ass. Haha, edit. Holy crap. Who knew being old and telling everyone my woes would turn into the most upvotes I've ever had or expected. Thanks all for supporting the old man society. I'm 25 and the whole existential dread of figuring out what to do with my life is probably the worst part of things. Oh yeah, that doesn't go away. Part of this wonderful adventure we get to have. I'm old enough that I should have my shit together, but I'm too young to have my shit together. No one has their shit together. Literally no one. Anyone who tells you otherwise is lying to save face. I'm married, can afford my living, and have my desired career. I still don't even have my shit together. I have no ducking idea what I'm doing. I've just been stupidly lucky. Balding. Back pain. Bad vision. I'm 23. Yeesh. The 3 B's. Boner problems. When you finally understand what Mark Twain meant when he said youth is wasted on the young. Edit. Quote is from George Bernard Shaw, or maybe Oscar Wilde. When you're too young to understand, but know damn well he's right and you're gonna wish you knew lol. It's one of those, before you know it, you'll be my age boy kinda things. I turned 29 this year and just realized a year or 2 ago like, damn, where has life gone? Feels like I should still be in first year of college. Or just graduating. Whereas 6 to 7 years as a 12-year-old is like an eternity. When I was late teens to mid-20s I used to make fun of my dad cause his not being able to read small print newspaper etc. Of course letters were blurry. He would ask me, Steve, read that for me. It's too blurry. I come out and say to him, what's the matter, too old, your eyes can't make out small print. His reply be, you just wait, you duck, you get my age, you will go same shit. Well, some 15 or so years later I had some blueprints out on table. Concrete construction I do. Had some details I couldn't make out. So I, Jesse, come here, can you tell me what that's? Says, and I be a third. My son's reply was, you getting too old, dad can't read. That moment years back of me telling my dad pop up and thinking if what my dad told me going happened to me one day, he was just saying that he is okay not to forget about him from the grave. Love you, Pops, I'm sure your eyesight is better. This is such a sweet story. Thanks for sharing. At 73 I'm reminded daily by my body that I'm not 25 years old anymore. It's cool that you're on Reddit. I'm not sure if this happens with all people my age, but I'm 18 and people, specifically my parents and close family members, but not limited to them, will use the you're 18. You're legally an adult, you need to be doing these things on your own. Whenever it will work in their favor, then immediately go back to you're still just a teenager / you're still my kid. Whenever I try to be even the slightest bit independent. I'm 18 as well. And while no one straight up tells me that I need to get it together, I always feel that pressure. Then I go for a walk and my mom calls me worried if I'm gone for over an hour. It's just a super weird time. Do you think it's when you live at home? Parents want their kids to get a job and make a life for themselves, seeing them as an adult / time to grow up, but while living at home and being cared and provided for still seen as their kid. 2 economic recessions when I'm supposed to be building my life. Graduated into the post-9/11 economic slowdown. Got nailed by the 2008 crash. Dealt with job insecurity and wage stagnation for a better part of a decade. And now this. Do you not have any bootstraps though? Old enough to start to hurt and ache. But supposedly I have another 30 years of productivity in me. Final year student in 2020. Duck you corona. Yeah, me too. Also have no will to finish my thesis. I wish I had only normal classes. It's hard to cope with my anxiety at this moment. I can't even write mine because I couldn't enter the US, where my placement was. Can't find another place to write it because nobody hires right now. Yay. Nobody likes you when you're 23. That depends. Do you still act like you're in freshman year? What the hell is it? Being 21. Feel pressure to save money before I move out on my own. Bills, rent, textbooks, tuition, etc. Went to community college, paid tuition, and lived at home. Still very hormonal despite not being a teen anymore and am horny and depressed all the time. At least I can drink. Edit. Just wanted to thank all of you for the great advice. I appreciate it so much. Turning 20 soon, and it's so frustrating. Because due to my birthday I'm the youngest in my year of school. All my friends are turning 21 and going to the bars and it sucks being left out. God, I hated that. My body is starting to fail me and no matter what I can do, I can really only watch. Trying to change my health habits now that I'm in my 20s to hopefully prevent whatever can be prevented. Wish you luck. Being constantly horny and hormonal. Yes, I also relate as a male between the ages of 12 and a billion. It never ends, does it? Kinda sucks. I've actually had a girl I was getting along well on a dating app just straight up ghost me after saying I have high libido. Lol it. PPL keep assuming I brought it up out of nowhere like an idiot. Lol, of course she asked me first. Edit 2. PPL need to stop assuming that I said or talked about sexual things through the conversation. I didn't. She brought it up first. And proceeded with the statement, I know this is sudden and weird. And asked about my sex drive, which I alluded to jokingly as comparable to the line by Hulk in Avengers regarding anger. Could have been the joke, honestly, lol. Nearly 60. I forget things all the time. Easy to remember old things. Hard to remember new things. I once lost my card in an ATM twice in 1 month. All my passwords have to be written down somewhere, as do the birthdays of my lids. I constantly get fatter, even though I don't eat anymore. I haven't had regular sleep patterns for 20 years. Every day I'm a little more tired. Too old to be relevant, but too young to be taken seriously. Duck, I feel this at 24, 32. What sucks about being 30ish is now you actually have to make important decisions you were putting off, like changing career etc. How old are you? I'm 20 and I mean 30. I've been 30 and it's been 2019 for 2 years now. I'm 2 months from being a legal adult. The suspense is killing me /s. Wait until you turn 25 and get your box of driving talent. This one never made sense to me. There are plenty of very good 25 drivers and plenty of absolute arsehole 25s. Now, yes, I know about the whole on average thing, but it still doesn't make sense. An 25-year-old who just passed his test will have a lower premium than someone who's 24 with 5 years of no accidents. It's stupid. There must be a middle ground which is better than where we are now. It's so hard to try to find love. How can I upvote more than once? Make a second account. 26 Everyone ducking asking what you're doing with your life. I don't know. I don't want to talk about jobs. Yes, it's so annoying. and everyone our age seems to be either amazing well established or still waiting tables. It feels like there's no middle ducking ground. Dulled emotions. Being a teenager had some very low lows, but the highs also felt higher. Now I'm in a constant state of apathy. That ain't age, partner. Yeah, I was gonna say I relate to that a lot, but I think it's just the depression. I'm expected to act like an adult, but get treated like a child. I'm 17. Edit. Wow. My first silver. Thank you, kind stranger. That's how I was treated my whole childhood. Being 1 year closer to death than I was last year. Insert Pink Floyd quote. Every year is getting short and never seem to find the time. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily Reddit videos.